Oh, baloney. The whole thing always gets back to drugs.
So, Dr. Gil Barzilay, a weekend of research and evidence in acupuncture and Chinese medicine in Ireland. So, what can you tell us about this? What can we expect?
Ooh, that's going to be very, very exciting. Talking about research is just about what I love doing in the last 3 years. And coming to Ireland, last time I was in September 11, 2001. So that's going to be a very exciting visit as well, on a much more pleasant, for a much more pleasant event. What can we expect? Anything and everything about research. The way the course is structured is that the first day we go into the basics of research, because many people don't have the background about research, how it's being conducted in the Western world, by pharmaceuticals or by research in academia, doesn't really matter. And so getting into the basics, not trying to make everyone a PhD or a professor in research, but really getting everyone aligned about what are the basics, so that when they hear or read or see on Facebook or whatever, they actually know what it means. Again, going through, what are the type of studies that are being done? How do you look at the results? Are they significant and meaningful for your day-to-day clinic? So can you talk about it to your patients if they ask about their relative or their brother, sister, wife, whatever, or to a colleague in a hospital or in a clinic that is integrative, Western and Chinese medicine? What are meaningful results without making people statisticians? That's not the intention. And then giving a lot of examples about what is out there from the Western medicine and the Chinese medicine that makes, that makes the headlines, because we all are bombarded by headlines every single day. This diabetes drug is not good. It's diabetes month this month. This anti-cholesterol is not good. This Chinese herb works for that, and that, acupuncture point works for that. And so to understand the meaning of it, that's what we sort of dedicate the first day. Second day is really going into the data itself. So we're going to go through about 40 to 50 articles, publications from the last year or two, in about 10, 11 therapeutic areas. I think you mentioned it in your post, but it's going to, if I look at the list, it's going to be around the mechanism of action of acupuncture. It's something that many patients ask while they're lying on the bed or on the chair, ask, how does this work and why are you needing me in my foot for a headache that I have? Oncology, fertility and gynecology, pregnancy, menopause and hot flashes, migraines, pain, of course, digestive system issues, respiratory system issues like asthma and allergy, Shen disorders like insomnia, depression, anxiety, stress, and some treatment guidelines that have appeared in the last 2 years that I think is very useful for all practitioners to know that they're out there, because their colleagues may ask, have you, does acupuncture work for whatever? And I think it's kind of something basic that a lot of goodies have come in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years that are real tools for therapists all over the world to use. So the Irish colleagues are going to enjoy it.
So who is this for? So say, for example, when people are looking at this and they say, well, I only qualified last year, or I'm only in practice, I'm only starting in practice, or, oh, I'm in practice now 20 years, so do I really need this stuff? Like, from your experience from other countries, I know you've lectured in Israel and other countries in Europe as well, and who is this for? Like, does it make a difference if you're only qualified, or you're in your first few years, or if you're practicing for decades? Does it make a difference?
It really doesn't. I mean, I see students who come, and I see young therapists, and I see also very highly trained and skilled therapists. Main reason is that those who are young ones get all the questions. They get all the questions. So I know acupuncture is good for lower back pain. Is it really good for alopecia? Is it good for anything to do with IVF, for example, or related to enhancing fertility possibilities and stuff like that? And they don't know. They don't know what is out there. And so for them, it's definitely is, because they're at the stage where everyone, where they get all the time questions. And at best, people believe that it's good for migraines and lower back pain, but people are surprised with the evidence that exists there. And because, again, the aim of the course is not to make people researchers, but to make people be able to understand the headlines and be talking about it without, with looking as if they really understand it. And over time, with reading more, this is, just the beginning. People have to go and read. They can really talk with confidence about research. So that's for the young ones. For the experienced one, well, first of all, a lot of experienced therapists, again, know that a lot of research has been doing. They have been collaborating with people. They have been attending congresses. They know that there is some evidence, but they don't know what it is. So there are a lot of people who ask me, people who have been treating, for example, oncology patients, palliative care for oncology, of course, not curing cancer with herbs, but they treat it, and then they have constantly people asking them, where's the evidence? Show me that it actually works. I mean, of course, in some therapeutic areas like cancer, people are desperate and are looking for additional tools to on the road to recovery and on the road to and while on treatment to reduce the pain and suffering. But at the same time, people are looking for the evidence, and the more Western medicine is willing to integrate Chinese medicine in our Western society, the more they need the evidence as well. So even though in their hands they have the experience, they don't know about the research, and so they come as well. They ask the questions. I've had a lot of oncologists in Poland, for example, who were essentially reading and writing and discussing the data, because it's something that they know exists, but they never had the evidence. So it's type of, I think it's more or less good for everyone. I don't think many are going to get bored.
Yeah. So that's a very good message. And for people that have been watching the vlogs, not only my own, but actually your own, and I've had the pleasure of helping you on those, and it's been great because people that in the clinics, the patients talk about it. So you can imagine that probably the public out there are talking about it as well. And that's going to be the type of conversation that people would then go and say, oh, you have a pain, you should go and try acupuncture. And even for that kind of people to know, well, how does that work, and does it really work, and whatever, having this type of video like the vlogs that we do, like the ones you do with a 3 minutes on research and evidence, that's really good for the public to know. So you can just imagine if you put that as a weekend for the practitioner, how much confidence the practitioner is going to have the next time that someone asks them a question. Or even, I was talking to someone today, we were just offline, so I won't mention any names, but just talking to someone all the way across the world, and we were talking about the same thing. Imagine you're a practitioner, you get this amazing job opportunity to go and work in the hospital or an integrative clinic or a semi-private clinic, and you go for that job interview, and they start asking you, okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about, what research is out there in terms of the points that you're using or the prescription you're using or the mechanisms of acupuncture? You kind of need to know what to say then. Because if you want to go for that job and you want to make sure that they understand what you're talking about as well, you need to know that.
You need to know that. You need to know that for colleagues. You need to know, because the Western world now, you see all the amount of publications and papers and policy changing that is happening because of the opioid crisis, which I'm not sure how big it is in Ireland, but it is big in Europe and of course in America. People are beginning to look for something different. And when they look for something different, unfortunately for us, they look for the complementary medicine, which is an umbrella of anything that is not Western medicine. But of all of them, the most research and scientific based is Chinese medicine. Of course, maybe also in terms of philosophy it is, but in terms of actual practice and research, it is the most evidence based. And it's a shame that many people don't know that. I mean, and people do ask even questions like, when they lie on the bed, how does this work, and why are you needing me in the foot for something like that, and what is this, pericardium 6 that does something for my, I don't know, for my, for opening the chest or for calming down or for stuff like that. They want to know how it works. And we really, really have it. And every time, it doesn't really matter how many times I talk, and how many times even like the vlogs, the Facebook, however interactive it is, and you and me are doing a lot, and many other are doing, Mel is doing as well, a lot of interaction. Nothing beats the face-to-face meeting. You have a weekend with someone, it doesn't matter what type of face-to-face workshops or courses is, and you get to ask additional 5,000 more questions that you had in your mind, that other than that, you have to, you know, just write them and hope that you'll get an answer. And many people do. Have you seen any evidence on? It's difficult to reply like that. It's much easier when you have an interaction and to explain to people what is good and what is bad. And I don't paint everything rosy. There's a lot of good research. There's a lot of good evidence that we can and should shout about. And there's a lot of crap as well. And we need to be able to distinguish so that we don't get ourselves in a situation where people tell you, you know, really, don't tell me that you think this is a good evidence. And I'm not talking about a hardcore skeptic. I'm talking about a decent one that came out of med school and knows how to read an article and knows that this or that study are not something that you can actually use. So this is you know, it's something that is a real hands-on tool. Unless you're one of those who work in a clinic and, you know, you bring everything from yourself, you live in your own space and the way that you have developed the clinic, and you don't think that you need to explain it, and you don't have you know, patients who ask questions. You just sort of prove to them that it works, and that's it, and they accept it. But these are far and few between nowadays.
So you see, one of the things that we talked about when we were trying to organize this event, and I want to have the proper opportunity and space for actually thanking the people on the background that made this possible as well. But well, first of all, you for being available to come over, and also Siobhan for helping me out. But we'll talk about all the others as well. But one of the things that got me really, really excited, and you know, over the last 2 years with starting my master's and kind of getting into, you know, a little bit more depth into the research side of things, I can just imagine knowing you and knowing the lectures and knowing what you're going to be talking about. This is going to be the Saturday and the Sunday. And I just get so excited, yes, about the weekend, but actually about the Monday. I can just imagine the people who are going to be there on the Monday, going back to their clinics, and I can just imagine in my head, you know, rewriting stuff on their websites, you know, oh, I'm going to say this in a different way. Or
usually what happens is that, well, first of all, a lot of people did not know about the evidence, so they're happy. And the second thing that you're going to get is 100, let's assume that all 100 are going to come, that 100 people are going to ask you for the slides.
Yeah.
So they're going to get a lot of the information.
Yeah.
We know that. We've agreed on that. They're going to get a lot of the slides because these are, I'm presenting, I have researched and digested a lot of studies to present them in a presentable way, in an easy to understand way. And of course, these are not my studies, so I'm happy to share them with everyone that comes. And so this is something that people can read and or refer to. And of course, I also refer, and we will send some of the publications that are freely available, that are outstanding, from colleagues in Australia, from Mel and the evidence-based acupuncture project, and other resources. So there's going to be a lot of take-home beyond the just hearing and interaction that will take place within those 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about everything else that is out there, because we can get the opportunity here now to, first of all, thanking the main sponsors. That's going to be Pro-D Seminars. So Pro-D Seminars, for everyone, you can see it on the post, but we'll say it here as well. They're actually giving us 25% discount. So everyone who registers on the early bird is going to get 25% off any course on Pro-D. That includes, I know you have one there.
Any course? Oh, wow.
Yeah, any course. Yeah, any course.
I'm going to go and get some as well.
I'll double check if you're allowed to do that. So for the early birds, what's going to happen is that you're going to register. We're going to keep your name. We again, it's the early birds or until the spaces are filled. I know you were talking about 100 there, but that's really, we're still trying to negotiate a bigger room. At the moment, we could be guaranteed of the 50 spaces. I'm not sure if we're going to get the bigger room with the venue because, as I said, between agreeing the date with you and trying to get the proper venue for this, we're going to have it near the airport. So anyone coming even from the UK or coming from Northern Ireland, the venue is really, really handy because it's just beside the airport. If we can get the bigger room, great. But for the time being, the spaces are limited to 50 and it's going to be strictly on a first come, first served basis because of the agreements with the sponsors and all the other extras that come. So 25% of Pro-D seminars, that's for any course on Pro-D, even the ones that are, there's stuff there from Jane Littleton, Deborah Betts, your own lecture is there too. So that's from any course. The other thing is with the, which you kindly talked to the guys there as well, anyone coming to the, to your conference here in Dublin, anyone doing your course who is going to the ICCM is going to get a discount as well. It's 10%, isn't it? That was the, so they're going to get 10% off the days at the Congress. So, and a few people that I was talking to, they are actually going to the Congress. So they are looking at it and going,
excellent.
About it.
Excellent.
And the other thing, which is the big extra, is that for the people who are in the room on the Sunday, because this event is actually then, like I suppose the main support behind it is from the evidence-based acupuncture project. Mel is going to be online for a Q&A session with yourself then at the end of the Sunday. So we're aiming for about 3:30, 3:45 on the Sunday, and that's just an amazing opportunity. As you know, we've had the first live Q&A on Facebook that was really successful, which actually followed from the Twitter, the acupuncture hour.
The Twitter one,
yeah. So it was kind of like, okay, 140 characters is not enough. We need to give more time. So the one on Facebook was,
even though 140 characters is an excellent exercise,
isn't it
better than the elevator speech, because the elevator speech you get 3 minutes or something like that, 2 minutes to talk. 140 characters, let's see you talk about research in 140 characters.
It was quite the challenge, I can tell you now. But so that's, everyone's going to get that first day, and all the details are going to be on the leaflet that we have attached to this as well. But you can see it on day 1. Then on day 2, you're going to go through the research itself, through those papers. And then at the end of that, for everyone who's there, there's going to be that live Q&A as well. So Mel's going to be on Skype, and we're going to have the opportunity to just ask whatever questions. And you're going to have those 2 amazing researchers in the room, and they can ask and bounce ideas off you and Mel as well. So that's just going to be you can imagine how exciting. That's what I was saying to you about, think about everyone going to their clinics on Monday and going, wow, this is great, And again, look, one of the main things for you to know about here from Ireland is that it's been always a big thing from myself and Siobhan trying to just get the practitioners. It's almost like to get everyone to wake up, the sleeping monster, and just go, okay, look, you know what? This monster is asleep. We need to wake up everyone and just kind of put a bit of fire in that belly and go, okay, you want to talk to other clinicians, you want to talk to the public. Here's how you're going to get more confidence. Here's how you should be doing this. Go out there and do it. So it's amazing. And even not only doing your course, but getting that amazing discount to go on Pro-D and do even more stuff. It's almost like just keeping that ball rolling. It's going to be amazing. So I can only say,
I think the whole idea is to make sure that the word monster is not related to research, because it isn't. Like I said, if you talk about it the right way, if you learn about it, if you hear about it, it is not a monster. It is a monster if you do a PhD in research. Yeah. But that's something for the geeks, or something for those who really want to do it. But I think that it is far more scary than it is, and I see it with students here in Israel and also abroad. That once you actually practice, just like you practice acupuncture, just like you practice prescribing herbs and stuff like that, you just go on the articles Google, which is not Google, of course, but articles Google, and look for it, and then download something, and you read it yourself. It's between yourself and the computer, and you start reading it, and then the second time it's like, oh, this looks familiar. Oh, this is not that bad. Maybe there are a few things that you don't understand. That's all right. You can ask questions, and maybe there'll be follow-ups with additional Q&As and stuff like that. But there's a way around it, and it is a lot more easier And the whole course is set up in a pragmatic way that people can download as I speak, or as we speak, and actually look for it and start practicing, reading, challenging themselves, and you know, and find the answers that they need for their own daily practice.
Yeah. So I can only say toda haba.
I can only say toda rabba to you as well.
And thank you very much for accepting the challenge. And now all we need is to wait for people to register. And again, just a very, very quick reminder. At the moment, we can only guarantee those savings for the people that are on the early bird. Anyone after that, you know, we need to talk to the sponsors again. Those goodies might not be there. So at the moment, it's for the early birds only that you're going to get.
You didn't mention the EBA Connect.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good point.
You mentioned mail, but not the EBA Connect.
I'm glad I'm the one organizing it, and you have to remember that as well. So sorry. Yes. So apart from those discounts as well, everyone registering on the early bird is actually going to get 1 year membership on the EBA Connect. So for those who know, I'll leave the website down here anyway, but it's evidence-based-acupuncture.org. And the EBA Connect is kind of like the back of the website where you get access to every video that Mel has put out, the publications that we have out. The last one was the one about pain, and that's been really, really successful. Even we were over in San Diego and people were talking about that at PCOM as well, so that was really, really good. And you get access to all of that. So that's worth $79, and that's included as well on the early bird. So thanks for reminding me. So that's all part of the package. You can get in touch with us. I'll leave the email here. You can ask me any questions that you have about that. And yeah, I can only say that I'm really, really looking forward to this. And yeah, I can thank you for putting this together. I know you've done it before in other countries, but to have this coming to Ireland and to have just that buzz going in the room and getting the practitioners there, I can just imagine that the week after is going to be a very, very exciting week here in Ireland. So
I look forward to attending the the largest Irish/international research conference.
That's true, yeah. So thank you very much. So thanks for reminding me. And by the way, you're there in Israel. Pass on all our thanks to the guys at the ICCM, and thanks so much for helping putting this together. EBA, again, the evidence-based acupuncture, Mel, for getting behind this and really, really supporting it, and to Pro-D Seminars for being the main sponsors for this event. Like without everyone getting together, and this is the great thing, everyone getting together and putting something this big together, it's just amazing. So toda haba.
Excellent. Toda. Talk to you.
Talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, baloney. The whole thing always gets back to drugs.